Hi drivers, this is Paul Taylor once again from Truckers Justice Center. We're continuing to talk about the anatomy of a whistleblower lawsuit for a truck driver. In the last video I told you usually we can size up whether or not we need to go further after we've spent about 10 minutes of discussion with the driver. Do we need additional documentation? I told you what documentation we need or would prefer to have. Once we have that, our firm is going to make an assessment of whether or not we really want to take a case. Here is some of the things that we're going to consider. One, is the driver being truthful? Now, if you tell me you were fired because you refused to violate the hours of service regulation, I'm going to try to take a look at your logbooks. If your logbooks show exactly 11 hours of driving every day, exactly 10 hours of rest, exactly 15 minutes of loading and unloading everywhere you go, that's going to raise some questions in my mind whether or not you're a truthful person. In other words, have you been telling the truth on your logs? You know, we know that a truck stop doesn't magically appear in the middle of Wyoming at 2 in the morning to provide you at exactly 10 hours of rest. So we're going to assess that. We're going to look at other things. For example, we're going to look at the repair records and the quality of the vehicle inspections you perform. For example, if you tell us that you refused to drive a truck because it had an audible air leak in the brake system, we're going to look at your daily vehicle inspection reports. Did you document it? Those kind of things present real problems in cases because judges and investigators from the Department of Labor are assessing, is this a truthful person? One of the other things we're going to look at when talking to you, are you going to be a client who's willing to work with us? Is it difficult reaching you? To reach you, do you return phone calls? Are you going to be one of those persons who's going to call us 7 or 8 times a day? We realize your case is important, but we have other clients. Are you going to do battle with us and argue with me as your lawyer? You know, I generally tell drivers, you drive the truck, I try the case, but we work together in cases. So those are some of the things that we assess in making a decision whether or not to take a case. One of the other things we look at is, during the investigative process, when we're making the determination whether or not to take your case, is your phone disconnected? Are you providing us in a 2-week period with 2 or 3 different cell phone numbers? I mean, those things are important to us, that we be able to have the tools to work with you and that you be a person with whom we can work and not really a person with whom we have to fight. I will tell you from my standpoint as a lawyer is that one of the worst things that can exist in a case is when I have to fight with my client. And we don't want to do that. So we want to make sure that you're a good fit for us and we're a good fit for you when we make that decision to go forward with the case. In the next video, we're going to talk a little bit more about the initial discussions between lawyer and client, and then a few weeks down the line we'll go into how the process works. I'm heading on vacation, but I'll talk to you when I get back. Thanks, have a nice day.